They didn't kill me. They erased me, slowly, quietly. They smiled while stepping over the broken pieces of me they helped shatter. And in that silence, I changed. I stopped bleeding. I started building. I stopped begging. I started becoming. I'm not your villain. I'm not your victim. I'm the fire your memory can't put out. I'm not just the darkness that swallowed your comfort. I'm the scar that keeps screaming when everything else goes quiet. This isn't a story of revenge. This is the rise you never saw coming. Darkness isn't born from evil. It's born from absence. The absence of love, of warmth, of understanding. It grows in cold rooms filled with silence, in the pauses after someone should have cared but didn't. You don't just become dark, you're shaped into it, one disappointment at a time. When you scream and no one hears, when you fall and no one reaches out, when you break and everyone watches like it's a show, they're not just ignoring you, they're carving the first cracks. Darkness doesn't crash in like thunder, it seeps in like rot, slowly, patiently, without warning. It's that feeling you get when your chest is heavy but you have to smile anyway. It's the way you laugh with your mouth but not your eyes. It's how you start answering, "I'm fine," so often that it becomes a lie you no longer correct. People don't understand that darkness isn't chosen, it's inherited from pain we never asked for. It's grown in the soil of betrayal, watered by every fake friend, and lit by every back that turned when we needed them most. It's born the moment we realize hope won't save us, and no one is coming to fix what life broke inside us. And in that moment, something shifts. The silence that once hurt becomes comforting. The loneliness that once killed us becomes fuel. You stop expecting the world to give you light and start creating your own shadow. And that's when it begins. You learn how to live with it, how to breathe in it, how to fight inside it. You stop asking why the world is so cruel and start becoming the version of yourself that doesn't flinch anymore. The darkness doesn't make you a monster. It makes you awake. It gives you vision when everyone else is blind. And while they sleep peacefully, unbothered by the fires they left in your heart, you become fireproof. You stop begging for love and start becoming the kind of person no one dares to ignore. You weren't born with darkness. You were gifted it by a world too careless to protect your light. And now, it's yours. It's your strength, your armor, your voice in the silence. They thought leaving you in the dark would break you. What they didn't know is that's exactly where legends are born. There's a moment in everyone's life when the people you trusted most will vanish like smoke in the wind. You'll stand there confused, holding the pieces of your loyalty while they walk away like you never mattered. It feels like betrayal, but what it really is revelation. You finally see who was real and who was just convenient. When they turn their backs, don't beg them to return. Don't fall to your knees trying to explain your worth to people who already decided you weren't valuable enough to stay. Let their absence become your foundation. Let their silence shape your strength. You don't grow by being accepted. You grow by being abandoned and still choosing to rise. When the world walks out, you stay standing. Even with tears on your face and rage in your veins, you hold your ground. You stop waiting for someone to carry you and start building your own spine, bone by bone, from every insult, every ignored message, every time you were forgotten. Your backbone isn't built in love. It's built in the echo of "I don't need you anymore." And once it's strong, once it's forged through pain and pressure, no one can bend you again. You become someone who doesn't need applause to feel worthy. Someone who doesn't collapse just because it hurts. Because now you've seen the truth. You've seen how quickly people leave, how easily they forget, how loud their silence can be. But they forgot something. They forgot that pain makes architects, that heartbreak creates builders, that the more they tried to tear you down, the more skilled you became at constructing your power. So don't resent them. Thank them. Because in turning their backs, they handed you the blueprints to becoming unshakable. And the next time someone thinks they can walk away from you and leave you broken, let them see the spine they helped build and regret every step they took away from it. They'll look at your scars and flinch like you're something damaged, something ruined, like your pain should be hidden under sleeves and silence. But what they don't understand is that every scar on your body, your heart, your mind is a battle you survived. It's not ugly. It's not shameful. It's proof that the world tried to break you and failed. Proof that the blade may have cut, but it didn't kill. Proof that you fought harder than anyone knew. These scars, they are your medals, your evidence, your living, breathing testimony that pain came and you didn't run, you endured. You want to know what's truly ugly, a perfect face with a hollow soul, a smooth life with no meaning, a heart that's never loved hard enough to be hurt, a person so afraid of breaking they never allow themselves to grow. You, on the other hand, are raw and real and textured by experience. You walk through life wearing your scars like armor, and anyone who judges you for them is too weak to earn one of their own. Let them mock. Let them misunderstand. You owe no one your silence. Every scar is a sentence in your story, and your story is a masterpiece written in pain and perseverance. If they can't read it, that's their loss. Because your scars don't make you broken, they make you immortal. They say, I've been to war and I'm still standing, so don't cover them. Don't apologize for them. Wear them with pride, because every time you do, you remind the world that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering you were stronger than the thing that tried to kill you. One of the deepest cuts you'll ever feel is being forgotten by someone you remembered in every breath. When your name fades from their memory like a whisper they never meant to keep. But instead of shrinking, instead of begging for a space in a heart that couldn't even hold your name, become unforgettable, not loud, not desperate, but undeniable. Be the storm they hear in every silence. Be the ghost that walks in every room they enter, reminding them of the mistake they made. Let your success scream in their silence. Let your evolution haunt their peace. Because the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's transformation. It's rising without bitterness. It's shining so bright they have to squint just to think about you. Make them remember you, not with regret, but with awe. Because you didn't crumble. You turned your pain into power. You took their forgetfulness and carved it into legacy. You built something so fierce, so meaningful, so irreplaceable, that forgetting you became their biggest loss. You don't need their attention. You need your own spotlight. You don't need their hands. You built wings. And when they see you flying higher than they ever imagined, when they realize they watched greatness walk away, that's when they'll remember. Not because you asked them to, but because you became too great to ignore. That's the truth about unforgettable people. They're made in the fire of rejection. And you You are the flame they'll never escape. They told you to smile. They told you to behave, to fit in, to play small, to hide the rage boiling inside your chest and replace it with fake politeness. And for a while you did. You wore the mask. You tried to please everyone. You bent your voice, your choices, your dreams just to be accepted. But every time you did, a piece of you died. Slowly, quietly. Then one day, you stopped. Not because it was easy, but because it was killing you. So you made the mask permanent, not to hide who you are, but to protect it. You became the version of yourself they couldn't control. The smile on your face, it's no longer a disguise. It's a warning, a message that says, I know the game now, and I play to win. They called it fake. You call it survival. They called it attitude. You call it freedom. Because when the world forces you to pretend, you either break or you master the performance. And once you master it, you become untouchable. No one knows what you're thinking. No one knows when you're hurting. You've turned silence into strategy, pain into planning. And your mask? It's not weakness, it's armor. You don't need to explain yourself anymore. You let the mask speak, and it says, I've been through hell, and I didn't come back to apologize. They told you to smile. They told you to behave, to fit in, to play small, to hide the rage boiling inside your chest, and replace it with fake politeness. And for a while you did. You wore the mask. You tried to please everyone. You bent your voice, your choices, your dreams just to be accepted. But every time you did, a piece of you died. Slowly, quietly. Then one day, you stopped. Not because it was easy, but because it was killing you. So you made the mask permanent, not to hide who you are, but to protect it. You became the version of yourself they couldn't control. The smile on your face, it's no longer a disguise. It's a warning, a message that says, I know the game now, and I play to win. They called it fake. You call it survival. They called it attitude. You call it freedom. Because when the world forces you to pretend, you either break or you master the performance. And once you master it, you become untouchable. No one knows what you're thinking. No one knows when you're hurting. You've turned silence into strategy, pain into planning. And your mask? It's not weakness, it's armor. You don't need to explain yourself anymore. You let the mask speak, and it says, I've been through hell, and I didn't come back to apologize. Every time they told you no, they handed you a brick. Every time they doubted you, every time they laughed at your dreams, every door they slammed, every opportunity they kept just out of your reach, they gave you the materials to build something greater. You see, people think walls are meant to keep you in, but not you. You took those walls and stacked them higher, not to trap yourself, but to rise above them. They tried to limit you, contain you, make you believe you weren't worthy of more. But in their effort to box you in, they taught you how to build, and build you did. You turned every insult into blueprint, every failure into foundation, every scar into steel. They thought they were breaking you, but they were handing you everything you needed to rise higher than they could ever imagine. Now you stand where they never thought you would, not because they believed in you, but because they tried to stop you. You used their boundaries as blueprints. You used their mockery as motivation. You don't owe them gratitude, but you owe yourself everything. Because while they were trying to trap you, you were building an empire. Quietly, relentlessly, without permission. And now, when they look up, and see the empire built from their rejection. All they'll have left is regret, because you weren't made to stay behind walls. You were made to rise above them, brick by bloody brick. Pain is the thing we all try to run from. We numb it, we hide it, we bury it under distractions and false smiles. But here's the truth: they lied to you. Pain isn't the enemy, it's the forge. It's the fire that burns off who you were never meant to be. It strips you down to nothing so you can rebuild with purpose. Pain and power, they're not enemies. They're twins. One creates the other. If you felt pain, deep, soul-breaking pain, then you've stood at the edge of transformation. Power doesn't come from having an easy life. It comes from standing in the ruins of your old self and saying, "Let's go again." It comes from surviving nights that tried to erase you. It comes from walking through fire with your fists clenched and your heart still beating. That pain you feel, that's not weakness. That's potential. That's your body breaking the mold. That's your soul rewriting the rules. You're not broken. You're becoming. And once you embrace that pain, once you stop fearing it, you realize something dangerous. You are powerful beyond measure. Because pain gives you insight, endurance, rage, hunger. Pain sharpens your instincts. It teaches you who you are when no one is watching. And the moment you stop avoiding it and start using it, that's when you become unstoppable.